As we come closer to the upcoming release of TV shows like Ghost, Force, or Raising Kanan, they start sharing more special content, early glimpses, and pictures. We have some new material to look at, which gives us an idea of the challenges Tommy will face in Season 2, both in his personal life and with the police. I'm not only referring to the problems with Maria Garcia, I mean the police getting involved. A few days ago on X platform, I started a discussion about 5 important storylines. These are the ones we should pay attention to when it comes to Tommy's character in the show. Number 4 on the list was Maria Garcia. I talked about how Tommy's feelings will be tested once more, but Maria is more than just a romantic interest. She brings a dangerous complexity. Tommy has a history of struggling in love, and the fact that she is Miguel Garcia's sister makes things even more complicated. This could lead to significant problems. Number 5 was about the police. I mentioned that law enforcement is getting closer, and there are enemies hiding in the background. With Tommy's plans to create a criminal empire, Season 2 will involve a challenging balancing act. He needs to protect his family, manage his enemies, and outsmart the police. Can he avoid a USA Stacy marks? In the rest of this video, we'll divide it into 2 parts. First, we'll briefly explore Tommy's relationship with Maria Garcia. Then, we'll discuss how law enforcement is closely following Tommy's actions in Power Book 4 Season 2. In Season 2, Episode 1, there's a scene where Tommy meets Maria Garcia at a bus stop. It seems like they've met before, they already know each other, and Tommy is aware that Maria is Miguel's sister. She mentions she's heading to work as a nurse, confirming something we saw in recent promotional images. But the important part of this clip from Episode 1 of Force is that she doesn't want anything to do with her brother's illegal money. She desires a different kind of life. This could be a reason why she's not interested in Tommy. Even though turning him down might make Tommy more interested in her, he's not one to hold back, and he enjoys challenges. However, her initial response seems to be rejecting Tommy. Maria's refusal is based on her wish for a life far from the disorder and criminal activities. This value of seeking a different life appears to be important to her. However, the challenge Maria will face is that over time, she will likely become attracted to Tommy. This attraction will eventually lead her into the very world she wanted to avoid. Their relationship will be incredibly complex due to Maria's strong aversion to dirty money and her desire to stay away from street activities, all while being Miguel Garcia's sister. Tommy is definitely taking a risky path, and when Maria does get drawn into the street life, it's not a question of if, but when. Will she stand by Tommy's side no matter what? This question arises because of what happened with Tommy's previous romantic interest and their hidden agendas. Holly approached the Jamaicans to try to eliminate Ghost. Lakeisha signed documents to act as a snitch, even though we're not sure if she would have actually gone through with it. She did sign the papers. So, the question is, will Maria Garcia be different? Will her story have a distinct ending? It's worth noting that Holly, Lakeisha, and even Tommy's brief involvement with Claudia all ended in unfortunate circumstances. Considering Maria Garcia's desire for a different life, it's uncertain whether she'll be willing to become a part of Tommy's world. As they become closer, there's a possibility that Maria might influence Tommy's perspective on life. It's an intriguing thought. What if Tommy had his own children? Would this alter his worldview? Much like Ghost, who desired to leave the criminal life right from the start of Power, driven by the well-being of his family. Ghost's actions early in Power were largely aimed at improving his family's circumstances. He aimed to provide a better future for Tasha, Tarek, Yasmin, and Reina. In contrast, with Tommy, although Holly was carrying his child when he accidentally caused her death, he wasn't aware of it. This raises the question of whether having his own child could have shifted his stance on the street life. It's an intriguing hypothetical to consider how parenthood might have changed Tommy's perspective. But those are just speculations about what could have been. And now in the present moment, Tommy is about to engage with risky situations due to his new romantic interest. It's clear that nothing will likely deter Tommy from pursuing his ultimate goal of becoming the King of Chicago. This leads us smoothly into the next topic, law enforcement. In Season 2, law enforcement will be actively pursuing Tommy. The team will be led by AUSA Stacy Marks and her husband Bobby DeFranco. Drawing from Power's history, we understand that there's usually internal conflict within law enforcement groups. In previous task forces depicted in Power, there were ambitious individuals who sought personal gain and advancement, often scheming behind the backs of their colleagues. This pattern appears to continue with AUSA Stacy Marks. Her husband Bobby indicates that she's prioritizing the Tommy case over her own job and even their marriage. This suggests that Stacy Marks is willing to go to great lengths to capture Tommy, setting the stage for a high-stakes cat and mouse game between law enforcement and Tommy. There's bound to be conflict between Stacy Marks and Bobby at some point. Stacy hails from Chicago's South Side and initially worked as a public defender before climbing her way up to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She's an independent and driven individual, eager to establish her reputation. Stacy's background is rooted in modest origins, and she has diligently worked her way into a position where she's determined to put criminals away for a significant period. Her aim is to target the influential figures in charge in Chicago, including Tommy Egan. Taking down Tommy could potentially lead to the downfall of others. The city streets will be swarming with police, which poses a major issue not only for Tommy but also for Diamond, his associate. With law enforcement saturating the streets and focusing on their territories, conducting their criminal activities will become immensely challenging for Tommy and Diamond. This could have serious financial implications or even worse consequences. In a teaser involving Stacey Marks and Bobby, they explicitly mention Tommy Egan's name, which aligns with our earlier discussions. Law enforcement seems to have identified Tommy as a central figure in Chicago's underworld. I'm genuinely curious to learn the details of this intricate situation. It's worth noting that Tommy is believed to be dead in New York, so it's intriguing to see how the writers will maneuver this scenario. It might even pave the way for a potential connection between the Ghost and Force storylines once again. Right now, we're basically just making educated guesses since with Power, the storyline can drastically change in an instant. So, let's wait and watch how things start to unravel in the early episodes of Season 2. With that said, these are some of the fresh details we've got from Season 2, Episode 1, and also about the ongoing struggle with law enforcement. Feel free to share your thoughts below about Tommy's connection with Maria Garcia and the intense pursuit by law enforcement. As always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.